What is happening, everybody? It's your boy D. This is D's Daily DD. Welcome back to the channel. Back for another video, another update, guys. It is Friday. Woo, woo, woo. So a lot of people must be happy. Must have the weekend off. Or if you're busy working all weekend or whatever, right? But hey, I don't know. I love Fridays for some reason. Okay. So, guys, today I just want to jump in here and make a quick video, kind of talk about what I noticed and what is happening and my perspective on what is happening with our stock, right? AMC stock, GameStop, all these crazy meme stocks, as the media likes to call them, and so on. But I'm going to show you some facts today. I'm going to show you some data. But also just remember, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please don't make any financial decisions based on my videos. I'm just here to give you some information that is public anyways, right? And my thoughts and opinions, but all of these are just my opinions and just what I can kind of see happening, okay? So yeah, guys, it's been a great day so far. Again, I don't have to do my regular job, so I'm back to spend it with my YouTube family. And we got a couple new subscribers. Thanks, guys, for hitting that subscribe button. We're trying to get past 500 right now. That's the next goal. And yeah, we're on the move. Okay. So yeah, guys, hopefully, you're ready for the weekend. To me, because of what I'm seeing right now, though, in the data and what happened with the cost to borrow, it's gonna be a long weekend for me because I'm pretty hyped. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm pretty excited. To me, the market is all about cycles and patterns and repetitions of patterns and signs of data. Okay. Some other examples that I can remember with the cost to borrow was Redbox. I remember when I was watching that stock and made a little bit of money on it was when the cost to borrow shot up from, like, I think it was like 100, 200% to 1200%, 1200%. That's the peak that I remember because it was all over Twitter, all over the media, how Redbox had an insane cost to borrow, like craziest I had ever seen. Another one was Bed Bath and Beyond. They were really, really shorting it, when it went on that run from like 3 to 35, 40 bucks. That was a short squeeze for sure, and I think when it comes to cost to borrow, right, it's a fee that the shorters are paying to the lenders, and it can change. It's an annual fee, but it's still pretty dramatic, in my opinion, when you see a stock, a cost to borrow fee go from 10% to over 100%. Okay, that seems like it would, really kind of change my perspective on that short position. But yeah, I want to show you these patterns. So let's jump into the video, okay? All right, let's start off with these pictures, guys. Okay, so as we know, for AMC, right, the cost to borrow has been rising. On Ortex, there's been days where this hits 300%. There was a morning where the average, too, which is the most important one because that's what mostly everybody is paying. The average was 303%, something like that, on one of these days, right? Because this high cost to borrow has gone on for about a week now. So that's what I think can actually make a difference when it comes to shorts covering, because again, I think it's directly tied to their short position if they're paying a lot of money on the cost to borrow fee. All right. So what I started to do last night is I started to look back and I started to look at what GameStop did and what was happening with its cost to borrow. And I started to look at AMC and I started to look at the volume, right? In the past times. So check out what I found. So this was Friday, January 22nd, 2021. The borrow fees were at 22% for GameStop. Again, this is for GameStop. And you're talking from January 21st, it was at 21%. By the 25th, 4 days later, it was at 32.7%. Right now for the week, the cost to borrow for AMC closed, right now it closed at around 44%. So even higher than this right now. Even though AMC did go up to 102% yesterday morning, I believe, on the same website on iBorrowDesk. All right. Then I looked at another one. And I went actually to the Twitter of iBorrowDesk and I found this. And this was tweeted on January 26, 21. So you see the cost of borrows at 53.5% on the 26th. And the next part I'm going to show you is that it's interesting how the shares start to rise as the fee rises. Okay, that too. Pay attention to that. So when we go back, and this is again GameStop from back in the day, right before the huge run. So you see the fee went from 23.6% to 82%. And that was from the 22nd to the 26th. And then in the same time, right, even though the fees rising, you see a lot of shares coming up, because that's what I noticed with AMC right now. I think there's like 500,000 that are available to short. So when you pay attention to that stuff, right, you also have what happened with AMC back in the day too, in May of 21. On the 10th, right, you started to see where that fee started to rise. And by, you know, the last day, let's see if I could, that was 25%. I think it's this one, man. Nope, that was the first day. Must be this one. Yeah. So on May 12th, 2021, for AMC, the cost to borrow fee was 90.1%. So you see how it's rising. That's to me, right? If the short sellers are having to pay more money, that's what can squeeze them out. It's more, you know, money out the door, even though it's an annual fee. When it rises like that, I think that's what can push, you know, them out of their position. Also, remember what we found out this past week or two that happened is, you know, these equities, these coins, these tokenized coins that were supposed to be backed with the 1-to-1, and then you saw that there was supposedly 400 million coins that FTX had issued, and we're still waiting to see if we can get any more information on that, but that's something to keep an eye on. All right, now let's jump to the internet, and I want to thank the viewers, always the subscribers, because, you know, I started this channel with zero expectations, just not knowing what could happen in YouTube and whatnot. And now, you know, I'm happy to say we crossed 40,000 views, on the whole channel and all the videos I've done, right? So thank you guys. I appreciate it. That means a lot to me, right? Just because we're grinding and we're working and we're making progress here. So let's talk about, you know, iBorrowDesk again. This is AMC. These are the ones that are supposed to be available, the shares, but this alone is the line of the cost to borrow, what it's tracking. Right now it's at 50%, right? 45 with half a million shares available to borrow, okay? So now I think it's an action and a reaction, okay? So I'm excited because if we really get some news on Sunday, right, from AMC or possibly Disney, right? Allegedly, there's rumors out there too of some partnership or something, right? So that could be a possibility. So I'm looking out for news on Sunday. We'll see what happens, but I have a good feeling in the next couple of weeks we might see some good stuff. All right, so 44%. Again, this video mostly is about the cost to borrow because it's very important in my opinion. And what I want to point out too is how the media is always going to try to get you to sell right before a huge run up. Check this out. Now it's finally time to short GameStop. This is from January 25th, 2021. GameStop's share price has risen meteorically, but no acorn grows to the sky, and share prices should come down in the near future. I plan to open a small short position. This person, I think this is the person who wrote it, on Monday morning when the share price action starts or whatever, right? So just because it had gone up a lot, he's talking about shorting it, but this article literally came out January 25th. And when we go to the GameStop chart, I want to show you something. When was January 25th? Right here on this red day. So, you know, you have this article trying to tell you to sell your GameStop shares, that because they're already up so much and whatever. But then you would have, if you would have listened to this article, look what you would have missed. The true run, right? The true run was from what, $21 to $121. So personally, I don't look, it doesn't hold much value, right? These articles that come out, because I've seen it over and over where they always, you know, try to paint a bad picture, and then they get you, maybe they influence you to sell, and if you sell and you miss the real, you know, money making opportunity. So I wanted to show you guys that, how crazy that is, that article. And now real quick to touch on the volume. AMC had low volume today, 21 million volume, and Ape had 10.7 million volume. So that's about 30 some, 32 maybe. And right, that's like very low compared to other days where we've seen 80 million volume, 100 million volume. So if we see this volume pick up next week, in the next 2 weeks, then, you know, I'm going to be so bullish on it, because this is AMC's historical volume. And I put the dates from May 4th, 2021 until June 4th, 2021. And you see this low volume, and then all of a sudden they start to cover. So you start to see this higher volume, and buys come in, buying pressure, right? Shorts are buying pressure when they're closing. And then you have the volume really pick up. And again, take into account, this is when AMC's cost to borrow fee went up to 90 some percent, and then it came back down. And look at what the reaction was, right? There was that action, and this to me was the reaction. The same with GameStop. You have December 16, 2020 up until January 29th, 2021, which is when it all happened, right? So you see this low volume at the beginning of the month. And then as the cost to borrow fee skyrocketed, well, the shares and the volume, the share price did too after this shortly, right? And during this, the pictures I showed you was up until what, the 26th, and that volume was really kicking, and the stock was up 92% on that day. So, you know, anything can happen when volume comes in. So this is the other website I like to use. This is showing you the cost to borrow for AMC. And then this other line right here is the price, right? So let me just show you right here in the past. This fee, the cost to borrow, went from 2.5% to 27%. And then the following week, when it started to come down again, then you had the price. This line is the price. It started making moves up, right? So look out for that. That's what I'm saying that I'm looking out for. And that's why I'm bullish, because I actually have a little bit of data to back it up. Now, again, this is just GameStop. I'm bullish and looking at this because I like the way it's testing, right? So it just got above the breakout zone here. As long as we can cross the EMAs, we already got through the first one, so it's getting resistance here. This is GameStop. So it actually went the opposite way, right? So I was like, maybe we'll come back down and then make our way up, because to me, this is the end of the triangle, the end of the cycle, like that. That's how I look at it. RSI is sitting good too, and you got the cross on the MACD. The orange is above, which means it should be bullish, right? RSI is in the middle, so it's neutralized. It has room to run. Now AMC, man, so check this little flag out. We got a little doji, which is to me bullish, right? When the way I'm looking at this, because you have this little consolidation zone getting ready, it bounced and then it got tested there too. This is where it needs to break. Now there was a lot of options at $8 today that didn't close in the money, so that was where the most options were. So, you know, the short sellers were really trying to keep it under $8, or the market makers. So then this is I'm expecting something wild, because once you cross the EMAs, and look how interesting, right? It's right at the macro trend, downtrend line. That's where the EMA is. So this is where you would see a huge pop in volume, like a technical breakout, right? So you go back, and that same little action, the cost to borrow while the price was going down, right? Then you get the massive push. This is in May, when the cost to borrow fee skyrocketed. Not too long after, you had the rip. So there's my proof. Again, 500,000 shares. I already showed you all this. Yeah, so that's about it, guys. Short interest is the exact same, right, as it was back in those days in May. So anything's possible with 101 million shares short, when back then there was like 90, 92, 93 million. Okay. So yeah, guys, that's my update for the day. Hopefully you picked up on what I'm putting down, you know, and you stay positive, because I don't think it'll be much longer. Oh, okay. Last thing with this picture, with this chart, you're gonna have to just follow my mouse to show you what I'm talking about, which is, it's very interesting, very unique, right? How this is happening right now. But look, from where I'm pointing out, we're gonna start right here, right? So you have this downfall, a pop, a rise. So that's one rise, you come back down, you have another rise, you come back down, and then this little rise. Right before the rip, you get a little a little dip. Okay, it's not like it just from this line to here straight. You actually had a little down action right there. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom in a little more. So after that rip comes back down. So just ignore this part. I'm gonna start again right here. So now pretend we're starting over from here, right? So you go down, it comes up, you have one rise right here. You're gonna go back down, a little bump, you go back up. You come back down, a little bump, you go back up on the second peak, you come back down, and then you have this pattern, right? So it rises, it falls, and then it rises. Look at this right now. So after the second bump, it falls, it rises, and it rises. Now, if we see a little blip action, this is why I'm saying what I'm saying, that I'm bullish, that I'm excited, and I can expect to see something crazy happen. Parabolic is the right word. Now, I'm not giving you any price targets because nobody knows that. I'm just saying that this is like almost bar for bar and price action of where I think the cycle is. And then you get the double top, you come back down, and then right before even this part, right, it's lining up right here where you have that little fall, the downtrend, which is that little flag. And then we have to see what happens here. But goddamn, it's like wild how like almost picture perfect that little pattern is. But here we go. Thank you so much, guys, for coming by. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Let's see what we got coming next week. Remember, this whole FTX, disaster was not expected. I don't think they were expecting for that crypto exchange to go down. And if anybody was tied up in it, well, we're still seeing what's happening, the after effects. All right, guys. So keep an eye on that. But other than that, hope you have a great one. Thanks for coming by.